Hey everyone, welcome to NFP Diversity and Inclusion Fireside Chat. My name is Travis Harris. I am a benefits producer in the Southeast in the Charlotte office. Welcome. And if everyone could introduce themselves, that would be great.
Hi, I'm Mary Steed. I'm NFP's Chief People Officer, and I am responsible for leading multiple things in HR, but mainly our field HR operations to support all of our employees at the company.
I can go next.
Hi, Wendy. Go ahead, Erin.
I'm Erin Vance. I'm the Senior Manager of Diversity and Inclusion for NFP. So I help lead a lot of our efforts between our advisory board, several of our initiatives throughout the company, and working with our regional support and leaders on these different initiatives.
I'm Wendy Donaghue. I'm the Vice President of Client Services in our Chicago office in the Central Region. And I am on the Diversity and Inclusion Board for NFP. And I've been involved in some of the regional and client activities that we've done in our local area.
Good morning, I'm Kizmet Moore. I'm in the Southeast region. I'm an accounting executive. I'm also a board member of the People First Advisory Board. I am also one of the chairs of our Black Professionals Resource Group, which is one of our employee resource groups.
Craig McGowan. I'm the AVP of Analytics and Account Management within our RX Solutions Pharmacy Consulting arm. For D&I, I sit on our Client Leader Pillar Board and focus on some of our client initiatives.
Hi, I'm Mike James. I'm a part of the company's executive committee and I lead the Individual Solutions business segment. Really happy to be on this fireside chat.
Awesome. Thank you. Hey, Mary, can you talk to us a little bit about where we are as a company with D&I and some of the initiatives and some of the cool things that we got going on?
Sure. So years ago, we actually started our function focusing on women at NFP, and we built our women's group to support our women. That turned into our diversity and inclusion program at NFP. And really our main goal is to make sure all of our employees feel respected and included. We also want to understand our different diverse population at the company and embrace the differences with everybody. We created an advisory board that is made up of 25 individuals across the organization, different business lines, demographics, genders, interests, to really represent and provide feedback into the initiatives and programs that we're building for the function. We built our programs around 4 key pillars: supporting our employees, supporting the community, our vendors, and also our clients. And also with that, we have 4 different resource groups. As Kizmet said, we have our Black Professionals Resource Group, LGBTQ, parents, and women at the company. And within that, we build various programs to support all of that, engage our employees, and bring our communities and our clients together to recognize our diversity and inclusion initiatives.
That's great. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Mary. Does anyone else want to add on to a little bit of what we're doing? Kizmet?
I'll tell you, with the resource groups that we have put on several webinars. We are engaging all of the employees of NFP to participate in those. So we do have a public group that anyone can come on and join, and we encourage our employees in each of the regions to do that. Some of the regions have also put on diversity and inclusion days, which is educating the employees on what diversity, equity, and inclusion is all about and how to bring it into the workplace, as well as sharing that information with our clients. So we are doing not only educating inside NFP, but we're also using our resources to educate our clients outside of NFP as well.
Awesome. You know, one of the questions that I actually had the opportunity to show one of my clients the platform and the different hubs that we were using. And one of the questions they asked me, Kizmet, Mary, Erin, please jump in. They're asking, how can you add to that? Like, can you expand the different hubs? And how do we choose those particular hubs to focus on?
Yeah, I can jump into that. We kicked those off last year as really the thought process was to have a one place for people to go and find out information about, and how we kind of focus them was just generally about our D&I board. The things we're talking about today, letting our employees have a place to go and learn more about what we're doing, the journey it's taken for us to get to where we're at, and the goals that we're working towards. And the big piece of what we're doing is our advisory board. That's made up of people within our company who have different backgrounds, experiences, are meeting different challenges throughout the company or in their communities. And they're able to be those voices to help us focus on what we should be working on. So it's really important, we thought, for them to learn about what we're doing so that when we refresh our board every year, we can get new voices in who can just be a part of that conversation and drive the work. The other two hubs that we have right now is the community hub, so that we can share more, kind of similar. We want them to know what we're focused on as a company, but we also want to learn from our employees, what are they interested in or already doing out in the community. Our culture just organically is very giving. All of our employees, many of our employees in our offices focus on different initiatives out in the community. So part of that was kind of sharing two ways. Here are some groups that we want to partner with on a larger scale and help amplify the work that we can help kind of improve things out in the communities that we serve. But tell us what you're interested in so we can maybe connect the dots or build more relationships and help amplify the work that's important to them. And then the third hub that we have right now is more of a library of just resources for people to go and say, I want to learn about how to have a difficult conversation. I want to go learn about my own biases and how that plays into the conversations I'm having and the decisions I'm making and how it's affecting other people. And so some of that's things that we've put together internally as tools and kind of training programs, but some of it's just information that's out there. And we know there's a lot. So we said, okay, we're into the advisory board. Let's go and kind of filter these down for folks to find what's really helpful for them. If they're looking for a podcast, there's a list of different resources that they could listen to. If they're looking for a movie to watch over the weekend and help them just kind of learn a little bit, there's a section for that. And then as far as expanding it, what we're thinking about doing is actually launching a fourth hub based on really the needs that we've been seeing happening and coming to us are these questions like what we're doing today from our clients, right? So how can we kind of turn around and share what we're doing with the clients so they can use that for themselves? They can think about it for their employees. They can think about it for the work they want to do out in the communities. Maybe we can help connect some of those things for them. And then how can they think about that, about the services they offer as well? So kind of bringing that full circle, I would say, to the pillars, right? So you have the employee side providing those resources, and you have the community and the connections, and then also with the vendors and the clients and how we can all kind of work together to really do all these great things that everyone's trying to figure out what to do.
And sometimes they provide a great resource for us to highlight our own benefits for our people. So in our parents hub, we're able to remind our employees about our Bright Horizons program, which is discounted daycare and networks to different home care for either elderly or children at home. We did a session this past year about with a consultant to help people think about navigating their children and working from home during COVID and how to think about setting their space up right. So it provides a great resource to kind of full circle help our clients, community, and our own people.
That's great. So I would say it's obvious, Mike, Wendy, that diversity at NFP is very important. Would you say?
Oh, yeah. It's super important. I would, look, I've been with the company 15 years. And so my perspective, I get overwhelmed with pride when I have conversations like this, because Mary knows we were at the company at a similar time frame, and we didn't have all this infrastructure. We didn't have all this consciousness in the company about what was relevant for our employee base. And we certainly weren't tying it to what was going on in society at the time. We were in our bubble and we were just trying to make our way. So today, to watch the company have a conscience about what's going on in society and wanting to make sure the company arrives in the right places in society, And last year, there was no more poignant year than last year that showed us how we should arrive and connect to positive things. And then secondarily, inside the company, the framework that's been built, the resource groups, the hub, all of the education and self-enrichment and deliberate enrichment that we're providing, it's beautiful. And NFP is a young company, so we don't have it all figured out. I'm excited right now. What does this look like 24 months, 36 months from now, at the rate and the pace that we're going at? That's what I'm excited about. And I couldn't be more proud of the voices and the talent that's kind of coming into the fray. You know, I didn't know you that long ago, you know, and the conversations we've had, you know, I'm excited about your passion to get involved and host this fireside chat. It's things like that that are going to shape the company in such a great way. So those are my thoughts right now. You know, I can go in lots of directions. So good, but y'all know I can go in a lot of directions.
Hey, save him, Wendy. Save him, Wendy. What do you
All right. Well, when we show our hub and some of our resources to our clients, it's a great model for them, but we're also very fortunate in that we have a lot of executive support. We have a lot of resources. We're a large company. And so we're trying to put together a client toolkit so we can show in companies, you know, how to start small, but then build up to say where we are. And like we say, we're a young company. We're new in this journey. We're still learning. We're still going. But then we also look for opportunities. For instance, we've recently, will be our second year. Sometimes our clients will come to us and say, hey, we're involved in this kind of an opportunity to help different communities. And, you know, maybe it's a passion of theirs. So for instance, we do this golf outing that raises money for an organization called Girls in the Game, which really helps underprivileged young women. And so, you know, we do things like that for clients, or we will help. We've put on client workshops. We did one in our region. We partnered with a large insurance company that also had a big D&I initiative. And I think we had about 200 people there, clients and prospects and, you know, just some of our partners. And so just kind of an opportunity for learning and sharing, discussing. So we definitely look for those opportunities to reach, to teach, to learn, and just to engage where we can. And there's just so many opportunities. It's, you know, it's our challenge to find the best ones where we can make the most impact.
And to add on to Wendy's comments, our client toolkit serves as a unique tool for clients to be able to ask those questions to maybe their benefits setup or, you know, recruitment, and able to infuse more of a diverse culture of what they're doing, what their best practices are. Going forward, you know, we'd like to be able to tailor that toolkit to some of their basic needs, maybe what they're looking for, again, from a benefits perspective, or talent retention, and some of the questions that they're asking from when we're discussing things from the advisory board, to be able to, you know, keep their talent, to be able to, you know, ask those relevant questions on a go-forward basis. So that client toolkit is going to be a great tool of sorts to be able to, you know, take advantage of some of the things that we're seeing from a D&I landscape, infusing that into some of their questions and what different clients are asking, as, you know, D&I becomes more and more prevalent in our business functions.
Yeah, let me a recent experience. I got, and this is to help you realize that this DE&I is not just a moment in time. This is becoming a big part of what companies and organizations feel their character needs to be, you know, need to be added to their character, and they want to showcase it. I got a call to participate in an RFP presentation in the Northeast region, and I got the call because they obviously know that I've been involved with our D&I effort from all angles, and thought that the client was asking what was our D&I mission like today, what resources were available to our employees, but more important, what was available to clients. And that question is not, one of these isolated questions. That's a question that will be in every RFP. No different than how did your company perform, and what's your executive group look like, and who's your CEO and who's your head of HR. So they're asking this question more regularly, and it was just powerful to say to them, we're in it. We've got framework, and we're proud of where we are in our journey, and we're looking to enhance that journey, and we'd like to do it with you. So we didn't go into it saying we got all the answers for you. I was like, come on and join us, because that's the kind of company we are. It lined up with how we deliver solutions for our clients. It's collaborative. It's a team effort. And so I'm really, really excited about now we're getting outside of the company and we're joining this effort with our clients. That's like when you strike gold. If we become the company that has a conscience that people can see, and it's attractive, it's contagious, and people will want to do business with us. So just an exciting little anecdote that recently happened with me.
So I can kind of piggyback on that. I had a very unique experience, very similar. Walked into a business just to say, hey, how y'all doing? Travis Harris. And sat down with a friend of mine she's of Asian descent. And the first thing she said was, obviously her heart was heavy with all the things that are going on with our Asian brothers and sisters around our country. But, she asked, what are we doing for that, for this? And so sitting down, kind of like what Mike said, just sitting down and explaining to them, what we were all about and how we were growing in this movement, hopefully it's going to get us to be in collaborative and be with them, and hopefully they can join us in this journey as well. Craig, you said something I thought was really cool, going back to talent and retention. One of the things that, as I look across the landscape at NFP, I'm starting to realize we do a really good job of diversifying our employee base. And I think a lot of that has to do with some of the resources that are set up within those hubs, and to be able to go to those. I know Kizmet does a great job of leading some of those charges. Erin's at the top of that list as well. So I thought that was really neat. And that's something that a lot of companies are asking, how do you guys attract different talent? And so if you can elaborate a little bit on that, I thought that was really neat. That perspective of what you were saying about the talent and the retention that comes in, and how we are able to use those different hubs and different avenues to serve them.
Great. I was speaking with some of my mentors, right? And I was asking them, when you guys were coming up, what were you looking for in a job, right? Mm-hmm. It was, pay, of course, really good benefits or what have you, 401k. And, as I'm talking to some of my peers, now that kind of shift, right? I'm more of your, millennials, late 80s baby, if you will. And the shift now is more of, what are companies doing to, care about me, right? Outside of pay, right? Everyone can, have a competitive pay scale, but it's still just those ancillary benefits and, outside the box things that companies are doing. D&I isn't certainly outside the box, but I think it's more of a outside the box when it's more of a concern, if you will. It's more, it's just similar to our advisory board. Not many companies have that, where we can get together different resource groups, different different pillars that we have to come together and bring forward some of our ideas. And as I'm rambling a bit, some of those let me gather my thoughts. Some of those resource groups and pillars, come together to bring our ideas, right, from all types of backgrounds, right? So you have different religions, different work experiences, and then you bring that all together, and you're able to achieve, more of economies of scale, if you will, to be able to infuse those ideas, ideologies, and things that new kids, not kids, but new potential employees are looking for. And I say that to say that's something that, when I, started with NFP, we were acquired. And then looking into it into more detail, I did find about the D&I board. And then I, did ask questions of, hey, how can I be introduced? Get onto this, because it is relevant. Things that are happening in our communities, things that clients are asking, and from a benefits perspective, ongoing management, things of that nature. And it just makes sense to have that more of a supreme focus on D&I, because those questions are coming up. The shift in what's important to employees is shifting to more of a, how can you help me? What are we doing outside of our normal business functions?
Hey, Craig, you brought up a good point, and this is something that I end up speaking around the company about. I don't say we're a young company, just to say it. It's true. We're a company that's acquiring and aligning businesses every day, and we're moving new pieces of the NFP family into our world on a very thoughtful track every day. But they come with their own cultures. They come with their own histories that have to be organized and included in our new, community. And that's not easy to do. And what's also important about the fact that we're an acquiring, young, growing company is we're embracing our experiences, and it's becoming a part of the company's framework, if you get what I'm saying. So your experiences you're talking about today are helping us evolve framework that we've built from yesterday, if you can follow me on that. And I think the good companies are going to be good because they're listening, they're embracing, and they're adding to their framework that from their experiences. So you bring up a great point, and I think we miss that sometimes. We're 6,000 employees worldwide. That's a lot of people that you got to figure out what's important to them in their day job and in their work life, balance. So, and that's not easy to do. And we're adding to that. So we're 6,000 today, we'll be 7,000 tomorrow. So framework is very important so that when people come in, they can come in and get engaged quickly. And then we can get the best of their experiences to help grow what we've already built. So
I think that was really attractive for me, Mike, is knowing that, diversity looks different wherever you are, and to know that, the office in the Mid-Atlantic, office in the Southeast, they all have these thoughts and ideas of where they want to go pertaining to their particular region. I think that was one of the most cool aspects of NFP. Very attractive to know that diversity looks different everywhere. And it's great to know that everyone is working towards the common goal of the company.
And let me tell you, that's new and that's exciting. And there's been some pain. Let me tell you, that lady down there, Kizmet Moore, has been on my cell phone more than anybody else I've met in the company. And it's not because she was complaining, it's because she was putting in work. Yeah. And when you're putting in work in this effort, there's some tough days, there's some tough conversations, there's some tough experiences, but we need to hear every one of them because that's what's going to build our character and evolve our company in this area. So I needed to say that. I know this is a conversation and we've been very thoughtful, but that lady down there has put me and others on task and have kept us aware of what's happening on the ground every day. And that's really important as you build this stuff out. This isn't a top-down effort. It is really a bottom-up effort, and we need to be listening.
For sure.
Yeah. And let me share this. One of the things that you all stated, or that Craig was kind of alluding to when we came out of it, is when we talk about our pillars. When I first started, I was on the community pillar. And as I got involved with some of the organizations that NFP was working with, Generation, Year Up, it gave us a way to be outside of the company. For me, as a new employee, I've only been with NFP going on 4 years, but I came in the door and it was right when the Diversity and Inclusion Board was starting. I was like, yes, I want to do this because I needed that balance. Okay, so what I do every day is I'm retaining business, but I needed a balance to help me to satisfy what I needed to do in the community and to be seen in the community as I want to help others and to bring others into this industry. So being able to work with Europe, mentoring students, and they're like, well, who are you? What do you do? What is this business? What I thought health insurance was boring. And coming in, and I'm coming in saying, no, it's not boring. And, we're doing all these different things to help the students in the community, helping them with interviewing and being ready. Europe is a program that allows them to go straight into corporate America. So helping them to know that they are important, that D&I is important, their diversity, being inclusive is important, working with generation and the young girls saying, hey, we see you, this is what you want to do, and giving them an opportunity. With us being a face outside of NFP and working with those different pillars and the new organizations that are coming in, it makes us that inclusive and diverse workplace that we want to be. Mike knows I always say, diversity will come as long as we're including everybody.
Yes, amen.
So as we are, opening up these opportunities, we're working with the nationwide coalition that is also working with HBCUs. We're doing all of these different things to bring more people into NFP. We'll build and cultivate the workplace that we're trying to create.
That's great. I was actually talking to a group of young African-American teenagers at YBLA here in Charlotte. And one of the young men, he asked me, he said, so what do you do? And he goes, you're an entertainer? What do you do? I was like, one, I'm not an entertainer. You don't want to see me on that stage. Dude. And I told him, I said, I sell health insurance. And he looked at me like, health insurance? Like, what is that? And I had to explain to him. And then I went into the more of the educational piece and how the opportunity that I have, the platform that I have, to not only provide a service, but to educate people about that service and about, some of the things that affect them, the things that can have an impact on them, and the longevity of financial freedom and mental health and things like that. He was very interested when we kind of brought it back kind of to that realm. So we've kind of answered a lot of questions already just in conversation. It seemed, we can kind of say, we know the tools that we have are very effective and they work for all of our clients, all of our pillars. We seem to meet those needs at their level. We elaborated on the execs and the producers at NFP on how important this is to us. I think the last question, the big question that we have is where do we go from here? What is the vision for this particular program at NFP, for this initiative? And I'll be like Mike. I can keep talking. I'm gonna shut up and just go around and ask. Personally, what is your vision? And then NFP, what are we doing? What are we going to do to take it to the next level? Because I think a lot of companies are kind of, in my field, I'm out in the field and I'm like knocking on doors, I got mask on. People say, oh, you can't come in. I'm like, I'm coming in, I'm talking, I want to talk to you guys. And but one of the questions I got yesterday, as a matter of fact, I'm in Asheville today, got a question yesterday, and the question is, where are we going? What are our next steps in moving in the right direction? And everybody's just curious to know, what are our path?
Yeah. Mary, you want to go, or you want me to?
I'll start. This is selfish because I'm in human resources, and after 13 years, MJ knows I want everybody to be happy and have a good experience at NFP. And we're not perfect, right? As MJ said, we bring in different companies with different cultures, different people, and we've got to bring them in and help them understand our culture. And I think that's the biggest thing for me, is continuing that message of respect and understanding for our employees. And there's, other things we're doing on our, compliance side. We're really talking about ethics and compliance at NFP, and we're starting. Our Chief Compliance Officer, Suzanne Spradley, is driving a Speak Up campaign, where we really want people to feel like they can speak up if they're having challenges. And I think that really feeds into this program, and we'll be able to blend those messages. I think the other thing that Kizmet and MJ spoke to is about bringing more diverse talent into our organization. The insurance industry has been mainly a white male industry, right? And that's nothing no reason to hide that. And I think the programs with Nationwide and programs like that are a good, small start, right? We're not gonna be able to accomplish everything overnight. It's going to take small wins. Yeah. I think that we're also working on bringing some tools to our managers when they're hiring, about keeping their mind open, thinking about as you look at candidates, we want to choose the right person for the right job, right? But we also want to think about, opening their minds to different types of candidates. And of course, different resources we're trying to do to open our networks to more women in the industry, Black professionals, and all sorts of diverse people.
Yeah, just to echo Mary's comments, we're going where our experiences take us, okay? Last year in 2020, it was pretty evident that social and racial justice had come to the forefront of every headline, no matter where you were. And what I love about what NFP did last year was we grew our strategy based on the experiences that society was delivering us. It was time to stand up and be a part of something that was going to affect positive change. And thus, we have a national relationship with the Urban League. We have a relationship with the NAACP. We join coalitions. We're a part of financial literacy strategies that are focused on underserved communities. We are in financial services, so that was a natural way to connect. So to me, last year was us embracing an experience that we were all going through, and it evolved our D&I effort. And I expect that there'll be more events externally or even inside the company that will evolve our framework in the right way. So I think the easiest way to answer that question is we're going where our experiences take us. We're in this, not for the moment in time, but to make sure we're being sensitive for our entire employee population. And also get this, we're a global insurance broker. So our experiences in Canada and in Europe are equally as important as our experiences in the US. And that's going to shape us as an international company. So I'm really excited, and you should be proud to say that. And just say, if you're along for the ride, you'll see it. You'll see it. If you're a client, if you're an employee, you can get involved and be a part of it. We've got lots of ways for you to get involved.
Well, that was a closing statement. You should have ended with that.
I didn't mean for it to be. We can keep going.
Really good.
Thank you. That was great. Wendy, are you going to add on to that, or?
Well, I just wanted to say I'm newer to NFP, and I came from a competitor. And I think one thing, just tying in all the things that people have said, that, we're embracing this. We're very intentional about it. We're really focused on building these partnerships around us. And I think that really sets us apart from our competitors. A lot of people are jumping on the D&I bandwagon as a token effort. And I know the place I came from, it's a token effort. And
well said.
People roll their eyes at participating. And the dedication and the passion that I see at NFP, and just that we have dedicated staff people to build the program and to grow the program, our advisory board, just all the things that we're doing and learning along our way and just trying to grow it, I think just really sets us apart from a lot in this industry.
Yeah, well said, Wendy. Well said.
I want to add just one more thing. I think a key piece you can kind of hear it through what everyone's talking about, but it's the way we're going, our experiences, all of that. It's all coming from people here in the company. And like we said, that we're young. This program's young. The fact that we're here today, 2.5 years after the board launched, our folks here on the board are getting involved and telling us these are things that we need to focus on. And here the company's listening, the leadership is listening, and they're wanting to make change. So there's going to be different things happening, but it's going to be coming from, like you said, the bottom up.
Yeah.
We're listening to the voices of what needs to change, and we're going to figure out how to do that.
Yeah. Well said, Erin. One other anecdote, not an anecdote, it's just the truth. I was on a call with Erin just the other day, and I find myself saying thank you a lot because, we've come to a place where Erin and I can work together for major causes that affect underrepresented groups and not miss a beat because I'm Black and she's white, because I'm on the executive committee and she's, leading a large team in HR. Like, to me, that's what the company should be about. That's what we should be about. And it makes me feel really good. It makes me feel really proud. That's a major step for us that didn't exist before. We would get involved. Mary and I have been through so many different things over the years. It was through employee related experiences, but to be in this with her, 13 years later is awesome. I'm proud of it. The other thing that people don't get a chance to hear and see, I'm here in New York. I met with a large contingency from around the NFP family because we had a tragic event strike one of our senior leaders, and people flew in from all over the country, all walks of life, all levels in the company came together, and there's this sense of pride of being a part of NFP, and it's happening on all levels. It's happening at the executive level, it's happening in the regions, it's happening in certain divisions and departments. And this D&I effort gets a chance to grow every time things like that happen. It really does. Jeanette was there, I was there, Ed O'Malley was there, and people are watching that and saying, this company is alive. It's not just a bunch of, sales reports and trends and new widgets that we're pushing into a marketplace. It's
a family.
It's a family. That's the word I was looking for. It's a family.
And I'll add this little bit. It is a family. It is a family. When I came into the door, I came from a rough situation. And my leadership, when I interviewed and went through that, and you're interviewing, so you're not sharing too much. But leadership was very well to say, hey, the door is open for you. We know you're interviewing other places, but here you can find a family, and we'll support you in anything that you want to do, any division you want to participate with, any projects you see going on that you want to participate with, we will have your back. And they have. NFP has had my back since I've come through the door.
Well, thank you all for having a few minutes. I know you guys are all busy, but thank you so much for carving time out of your schedule just to chat with us about what producers, people like me walking into businesses. Thank you for this opportunity. I can honestly say I am truly blessed to be working with this beautiful collage of people on this screen. This is what it's about. This is why I joined NFP. And thank you so much for just taking time out of your busy day to just have a little chat.